Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Raw Uncovered Truth of the Awakened Soul with Nicole and Kristi. And Kristi's going to take it away with an angel message. So go ahead, girl.
Good morning, guys. Today's message is all about protection. The card that came up today is the arrow, and the angels want you to know it is time to call on the energy of protection and place yourself in a space that feels safe. The arrow has long been perceived as protection, as many Native American people have used the arrow as a way of defense. The arrow appears today to tell you it is time to protect your energy field. At this moment, you are too open to others' energetic frequencies, causing you to feel out of alignment with yourself. There are energies around you that could be lowering your vibration. The angels call to you, asking you to open your eyes and be aware of the people and situations that surround you at this time. Use your intuition, step away. It is time to retreat and reevaluate certain situations. Clear these energetic bonds so that you are not brought down by a lower vibration. There is a lot of energetic attacks I feel going on right now with certain people. I feel like this card is definitely coming in to teach people that are just awakening how to protect their energy. So I'd like to pass it over to Nicole so we can kind of go through some points on how you can protect your energy in the future. So when you do feel like something feels off or the energy is not yours, you can go ahead and retreat and do these simple tasks at home to get your energy back on track.
Yeah, okay, so protecting your energy could go, I mean, there's so many different ways to protect your energy. I kind of have to agree, of course, with the angel message because I mean, I'm feeling like totally down and out. And I want to say it is because of the full moon, but it's also because we're absorbing everybody's energies, right? So that's, like it's a one way to kind of teach people, especially, ones that are not, that are just coming into their oneness, their self, how to protect your energy. So, especially during the season or just in general, when you go outside and into the world, as I like to say, even like food shopping, running into like to go to your, anywhere, just running anywhere. You could always, and this is a really quick task, and I used to have the kids do it too when they were little, is you picture yourself stepping into this white light, like this big bubble, and then zipping it. So like literally bending down and zipping it from your toes all the way up to your head and then back. And you're just surrounded in a bubble of white light and protection. And that kind of puts you at ease, in all these scenarios where you are out in public dealing with people. That's one. And that one's fairly easy. Two would be as soon as you wake up in the morning, do some type of, good morning affirmation that, you are in your power. Say, I am in my power. I'm in, I mean, and I could post things about this, and have them down so you could actually read them. But like more of like, again, I am in my power. I am protected. I am, surrounded by God's white light and love. I am surrounded by, my angels at all times are watching me and, like blocking off negative energy. Like there's so many things that you could just, make up and say, yourself. There's also, meditations in the morning, doing like a 10 to 15-minute like meditation of clearing and protecting yourself as well. There's so many out there. I have some as well, but there's always that. And there's the one where you also wake up in the morning and you ground yourself. So you just stand up and pretend, right? Well, you're not pretending, you're just visualizing that there is a bolt of light coming from your tailbone and your feet and going straight down into the universe, right? Into Mother Earth, kind of grounding there. And then shooting back up and coming all the way up and protecting you as well. And you literally say, I'm surrounded and protected in God's white light and love. Um, for the day. So that's also an option. Also just staying in places that don't, and this is like a physical aspect, staying in places that don't trigger your survival mode, right?
Mhm.
Which is also a big one. That helps. So if you do tend to live with somebody who's triggering, your nervous system and your survival mode, you have to protect your energy every day and you have to set up your energetic boundaries, on a 24-hour basis until you could remove yourself out of that situation. Same thing with work environments. You have to constantly be, cleansing and it's not like a constant cleanse where, you're like, oh my God, I have to, like do this and it's gonna take me forever. It literally takes you 2 minutes to just sit, like even if you're in your cubicle, I don't even know, a desk, whatever. You kind of just sit there, you kind of just breathe in and out 3 times, and you just picture, like the white light of God's love, your white light of your angels just coming down, gold, white, gorgeous, pure, beautiful light just coming and surrounding your entire body. And that is very helpful. So, yeah, I mean, you could kind of go in deeper to
Yeah,
that.
there's so many things you could do, but I did get a request to talk about it this morning. So I wanted to kind of bring it up
I
because
love requests.
yay, we got one. Just somebody who, is going to be around some people from for the holidays and how to protect themselves from the negative energy that
Don't
does
go.
surround
Don't
certain
go.
people.
Stay
Yeah,
home.
if you can't go, don't go. But if you have to go, I want to talk about a little bit of what I like to do as well, Nicole. All the things that you said are things that I do. But what I like to always have around my neck is a black tourmaline. I live with black tourmaline. I absolutely love black tourmaline. I
About that
pray.
one. I mean, you
Yeah,
got me and Emma. Like, I mean, yeah, duh.
yeah.
Totally forgot about that one.
Now, I'm not really into a lot of stones. There's only two stones I ever really work with, and that is my rose quartz and my black tourmaline, and sometimes the clear quartz. But the black tourmaline to me is very protecting. I like to say a prayer with my black tourmaline in my hands, just kind of state a prayer of protection that I would like, and then I put my black tourmaline around my neck, and then I head out to whatever event I'm going to. Now, not many of you might not have a type of black tourmaline at home. So once you could do exactly what Nicole said, and you could do where you feel like you're being zippered up in the white light, very, very protection all around you. Just keep yourself surrounded with the white light. It keeps the darker vibration away when you get home from the situation. So you do not carry that vibration along with you. My suggestion is that you take a shower. You could use any exfoliant that you would like to use, but you want to fully wash your whole entire body, wash your hair, shampoo, your hair, soap up your body, and then you will take the scrub and you will say a prayer, whatever prayer that comes to you. It might be the Our Father. It could really be anything. It could just be like, please protect me at this time. Please cleanse my energy, take all the negative vibration away from me, and then begin to exfoliate your whole entire body. I'm talking your face down to your toes and wash it off and ask to be released of all negative energy. This is one thing I do often when I have to go to places where I know my energy field will be infiltrated. So, and it happens to work very well for me. So that's definitely a suggestion that I would have if you don't really have a lot of things to protect you with, to definitely come home and re-cleanse your energy field, get all of that negativity from other people off of you so you feel back within your own power.
It's funny because I do that all the time, the
Mm,
showering, like head to toe and scrubbing myself. And I'm like, where's my mind at? Like today, where you did the black tourmaline around your neck and the showering, and I'm like, duh, like of course, like where you could tell. I'm also wearing black today because I'm feeling like the vibes and energy, and I'm trying to keep myself, like very protected. So black is another way to go.
yes.
Clear crystal quartz in your bra also. I mean, I used to do that years ago. It's
Yeah,
also a good one.
that's really good too because you keep the crystal quartz close to your heart, so it definitely keeps that vibration away from your heart space.
I don't have the I'm trying to think if do you have yours on right now?
I don't have mine on right now. I don't.
I don't have mine in like hand view, but I do have my crystal quartz, which is like right here and kind of looks like this. I mean, obviously they come in much, much smaller versions, and I probably should not have like thrown that online, but whatever. It's like very crystal clear, and it's, you could get them in all shapes and forms, and you can kind of just stick it in your bra. For guys, I don't know, tape it to your chest. You could also wear it in like a little thing,
Guys can
little
wear it.
chain
I see a
thing.
lot of guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I see a
No,
lot of
go
guys
ahead.
wear it as a bracelet.
Oh,
So
that's another thing,
yeah,
right? So like I always have get yourself this, right? It could be anywhere. I mean, we have it on our screens, right? We have it on us. You can wear it as a necklace, earrings.
I have mine on.
Yeah, guys wear it as bracelets, just anywhere on your get a tattoo. Oh, that's actually a really good idea for a tattoo, now that I think about it. Like just have just have the extra protection because sometimes it is definitely needed. Right now, I could tell you the energy is very, me and Christy were trying to figure this out before we even started the podcast, very heavy. And we're not sure if it's because of the full moon, which I'm sure has a lot to do with it, or because, like we're picking up on all the holiday last minute hustle and bustle, which is also, sucks for us to like pick up on the entire, like entire place of that happening. But again, there's so many things, so many clearing things. I'm also trying to, you could also cleanse yourself as soon as you get back in the house with what like why am I like
Sage
fasting
spray.
today? Yes, thank you. Sage in general. I still have the sage spray you made me, and that was how many years ago? I mean, it's like
Oh,
there's probably like this much left, but like I spray it on my yoga mat, I spray it, like on the kids' beds, on my bed, some, like depends on the energy. But yeah, so get yourself some sage spray. Sage, if you're just, if you could handle that, just sage yourself before you walk into the house. Yeah, like try not to bring the energy in with you. And if you do, like Christy said, shower immediately from head to toe, scrub. Um, what else? You have crystals. I mean, I'm sure we're missing so much.
I
Open the
mean,
windows, stage your house. I mean, to
there's
clear.
so many things. Like if they're coming into your home, let's kind of flip the
Oh, okay.
switch and say you're the one who's hosting and they're coming into your home. So things that you can do um to prepare is I like to
Candles,
do. I'm sorry.
candles, candles. Light tons of freaking candles.
Yeah. Candles everywhere for the protection candles. Like, oh, look at my new candle collection. No, yeah. So I mean, just like Nicole said, you could put a lot of candles everywhere. Darker candles, maybe like a really dark green because it kind of mimics like a black. You could do that. Um, and also, what you could do is the sage spray or saging your home before and after people come in it is a really good idea as well. I like to go through and just kind of sage my home after I have large parties anyway, just to clear the energy of the home. So you could do sage spray to clear the energy of the home. You can do a protection spray. They sell a lot of protection sprays. I know a lot of people can't handle sage in their home. They have a lot of protection sprays. You can go around your home, use a protection spray in the same way that you would use a burning sage, and go around the home and clean it just the same. Open up all the windows, make sure you say your prayers, and just that's a good way to clean out the home if you have a lot of energy running through your home through the holidays, which I think that we all have anyway.
If you have a real tree, huge plus, huge bonus because the scent of the tree is definitely very cleansing. So that kind of leads me to, your green candles. Anything with like cedar, pine, very good things to burn, especially if you have guests and lots of them during the holidays. But just in general with the holidays, because there's so much chaotic energy to light those. Oils, essential oils, huge plus plus in the house as well. Anything frankincense, myrrh, rosemary, mix them together, little drops here and there. You could even make a spray of that, and throw in sage too as well. But frankincense and myrrh are very, very popular. during the holidays that will clear you out. You could even put it, like a little bit on your in the back of your ears, in the back of your neck, and then I always like to do like a little dot on my third eye, and then right here, and then kind of mix it together. That also helps leaving the house as well if you have oils to put them on you and kind of put you in the zone, which I do very often. I probably sometimes smell like a spa when I'm walking out, but like I'm always at the lavender, always at the rosemary, sometimes even peppermint. If you're hosting Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or just like an extra, like family gathering, wash your floors. Try to wash your floors as soon as everybody leaves. Crack open the windows no matter how cold
Mm.
it is. Light something. Like I said, there's tons of things to light, tons of things to put in a diffuser and wash your floors. Wash your floors, wash everything that like people would touch, like your doorknobs, your light switches, your faucets, anything with a knob, totally wipe right away with whatever Clorox wipe, whatever it is, just wipe it down. Um, that also clears the energy when you clear out. So like try to clear up from your party that you were hosting. And I know like sometimes you could be like exhausted when people leave, but if you're clearing out like all the garbage, it helps. Like it helps clear the energy as well. I'm trying to think of what else, like house-wise. Play music. Definitely have music, very uplifting, upbeat music on at the time. There's so many. There's
There's
so
so
many.
many things. I think that we hit enough points on it that if someone was unsure on what they would
Put
be
crystals
have to do,
by your window. Put the I believe it's oh God. I used to have a list and then I was like, oh, I'm cool because that mentally I remember. But I don't mentally remember anything these days. But which the black tourmaline by the door, by the front door. So
right?
keep it like
Onyx,
on the top. Yeah. Oh, onyx is another one. Yeah. Anything black by the front door. Have bells on your door as well. I mean, I'm famous for that. I don't know why that didn't come across to me until right now. Any chimes, any bells, especially like Christmas bells this time of year, very easy to pull off. Just hang them from your doorknob. So every single time any door in your house leading to outside opens and closes, the chimes and the bells kind of just break up the energy and only let
right?
the good energy in. So have those. But there was specific crystals to have in specific rooms. I'm gonna have to do that and get back to you guys on that. I did have that written down because I had them, specifically everywhere. But kitchen definitely have something on your windowsill. The doors by the doors, even if you can't get it on the door, like a window close to the front door would help. A window close to the back door. Um, that also helps break up the energy, but the bells definitely get you some bells this holiday season by the doors. Even the sliding doors, like kind of just hook it on there and figure it out. That I would think, and all the way up until like the new year, I would I would suggest, or keep them there because I do. I usually have times everywhere. So you could never escape as a child from my house because the bells would
The
just
bells
jingle
will go off.
constantly. I'm trying to think like what else. Dirty dishes in the sink, get rid of them, throw them in the dishwasher. It's okay to leave that, but it's not okay to have them out. Close your bathroom doors. Um, close the toilet. Make sure the shower curtain or door closes the drain so you don't see the
Right.
drain. Um,
Every and always close your bedroom door. I do not let anybody in my bedroom on a holiday.
Absolutely.
I
Nobody
this
on your
the
bed, nobody touching
No,
your stuff.
nobody can go in my room. No, that whole area is completely closed off. So that's, my sanctuary. So nobody can go anywhere over there. If there's coats, I just throw them in the spare room, or if I don't have a spare room, then pile them up somewhere on a back couch or something. Don't let people just going in and out of your bedroom.
No,
It's
absolutely not.
yeah.
Off limits.
So
If you're really crazy and something that I would do totally, I don't know if Kristi was, but like
I probably
when you
would.
have
I'm really crazy
all
with that
the
stuff.
You have all the coats in the spare bedroom. I would go in once in a while and just spray some sage spray or whatever spray that you have, just to keep, like them, like the energy moving along. I think I have done that actually. Oh, then now that I'm thinking about it, especially when the kids were little and I used to have like Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. I was definitely spraying some stuff around. But I'm crazy like that, and I was all about clearing the energy ASAP when anybody would leave. Um, I would also be totally mopping the floors. And
I do. I know. People think I'm nuts, but as soon as the last guest walks out the door, I'm like, here you go, here you go, here you go.
take your
Let's
hands at
go.
the
We're
same time. Yeah,
cleaning. We're like, what are you doing? It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I don't care. Get the
yeah,
vinegar out. We're cleaning the
yeah,
floors. And I mean,
absolutely,
I'm just crazy with it, but my space is, and I think anybody listening to this, your space should be your sanctuary. So
yes,
you want to keep
absolutely.
it completely cleansed at all times, because the less you cleanse it, the more energy you're allowing into your physical space, which will then be ingested into your physical body. So you have to always remember that. And
Always
this,
remember
yeah, this time of year
that.
is just insanity anyway. So the more protection you have, the better.
I was gonna say, like, people could say, like we're OCD, which I mean, I've heard that 1,000 times, but I'm like, yeah, am I cleaning for germs? Yeah, of course, because everybody was in your house, but it was more because I was cleaning people's energy, like getting the energy out was my
Right.
more important top thing than anything. Because that's, I mean, yeah, germs could get you sick, but energy could also get you sick and like very, very sick and attached to you. So, I was always, even just like I always had some type of candle going when there was more than
Mm.
one person. And yeah, I mean, I'm a true believer in especially I have them right by me too, the essential oils. Like you got to get yourself essential oils. Um, those are just great to have, like especially like a diffuser, like right when you walk in the bedrooms going, especially when you have company, if you keep them on in the bedrooms. So just like when you do put the kids to sleep, or like if you don't have kids and it's just you or grown up kid, whatever, like when you walk into your bedroom, it kind of just hits you that, this is your safe place, this is your sanctuary.
Hmm.
So yeah, a huge, huge fan of essential oils as well. I don't know, like what else could we say about this?
I feel like we really hit like a lot of points. I'm sure
Try
there's
to cook
other
with
things.
rosemary. Try to cook with rosemary. So whatever you have in the oven, like try to throw rosemary in it, because then it kind of just infuses the entire house with rosemary, and people, won't think you're so nuts, or you have to hear people complain or whatever. Not that I give a shit what people say, but like for other people who may. Um, have people take off their shoes
There's shoes. Yeah, that's a big one.
because they're tracking in all sorts of energy. And I know people say, "Oh, it's dirt related, it's germ related." Again, your shoes, right? The soles of your shoes are tracking everything everywhere from like all over the world, right? Wherever you go, your shoes are on. Definitely try to take those off as well. But that's the whole point of washing your floors.
Yeah.
Just angels. Ask your angels for help. Ask your angels to protect your house. Ask just
Oh
call
yeah.
on your angels.
Always call upon them. They're always there for anything that you need. If you need extra protection before you walk in anywhere or have people come into your house, just call upon your angels and they'll be there, to help you along the way. Or sometimes something will pop up in your head, like in the middle of something, and then you're like, oh, okay, I gotta go do this right now. It's just your angels telling you, like, hey, go clear this out real quick, or whatever. So just, listen to that. And going back to the angel message, always listen to your intuition as well. If you feel like there's someone in particular that's going to be around you that's, really tugging on your energy field, then make sure that you are close off to them. Don't give them the opportunity to overwhelm you also with conversation. Here's a good one. Every time I go to a party and somebody tries to overwhelm me with conversation, I mean, when you're a healer, people just naturally attach to you. They want to sit with you all night. They'll tell you their whole life story. They want you to to empathize with them. And you do, naturally you do. But one thing that I learned is when it becomes too much, my favorite escape is, excuse me, I have to use the restroom. I use that all the time. And the reason why I use it is because it gives me a chance to get away. It gives me a chance to go into a bathroom. I can regroup, wash my hands, and then I slowly make my way out the door and in another direction away from that person, just so that person's not constantly pulling from my energy. So that's a good way to get away from a situation. If somebody is tugging on your energy too much and you need to get away, then just, I always say, use the bathroom technique. Just say, pardon me, I have to use the restroom. And then by the time you go away, get into the restroom and get out, they've already probably found somebody else to attach their energy to.
If not,
So
they're
then
waiting
you,
for you to come out of that restroom.
oh, oh no, wait by the door. Oh, I'll come with you. I'll come with you. Then it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I gotta go out to my car now. But just find a way to just escape the conversation. And then when you come back into the room, go to the other side of the room, start conversation with other people. 9 out of 10 times it's worked. There's always, every now and then where the technique doesn't work, but it's a really good way to kind of remove yourself from a situation that you feel like the person's really tugging on your energy, and you can feel it. I mean, you feel it all over your body. You'll feel it in your third eye. You'll feel it in even the vibration of your hand. Like it's like your body's
Nervous
trying to tell you to
system.
move on.
Mhm, definitely. Or don't go. I mean, people, you guys have to start like putting out your boundaries. Your self boundaries. It's for somebody who absorbs a lot of energy and picks up on, just say no. You have to learn how to say no. Like, I'm not going, and if I am going, I'm like saying a quick hello and I'm leaving. It's okay for you to say no. You do not have to go to every single thing that people think that you're obligated or you feel obligated to go. You're not obligated to go anywhere. You're obligated to protect yourself and keep yourself whole and safe. Um, I have this constant argument with my mother how she thinks I'm supposed to go because it's family oriented or because, she deems it necessary or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's about me. And I hate to, like it sounds like so cocky and whatever, but it's about me. It's about me. It's about how like I absorb things, I take on things. I don't want to be around people. I just want to be wholesome in my own little zone and, like protected and peaceful. And that's where my happiness comes from. And that's it's protecting your boundaries, setting boundaries, for the energy vampire, right, that Kristi was just talking
Hmm.
about, which that's how I like to refer to them as. And they could be anybody in your family. They could be somebody that you just met at a party. Energy vampires come out of nowhere. Implementing those boundaries. So physically, obviously, you have to speak up or just don't speak up and just know, like when to walk away, when to remove yourself from a situation, even if it's a group. Like you need to be in your power, right? So you need to be able to walk away physically, energetically. Well, basically, you could do the same thing. So if you're standing there talking to somebody or you feel like somebody walking, and that happens a lot, you could feel the person walking towards you before the person actually walks towards you, right? So at that point, that's when your flag should go up, right? And energetically in your mind, you are throwing up your hands and you're like, whoa, like kind of keeping the energy back up and you're like, you need to stay like here. Um, that's energetic boundaries. Energetic boundaries. Another way of setting them would be, oh, I just like lost my hand. Sorry, train of thought.
No, yeah, no,
Would just be, like you just you have to be in your power just in order for anything to what you have to be in your power. Energetically, you're just putting out that vibe. No, this person is not going to affect me. No, you're not going to come close to me. Like I personally loved quarantine, not because of quarantine, because that's total disaster and I didn't believe in any of that, but because people had to remain 6 feet away from me and I was so happy.
yes,
And everybody would say that, oh my God, Nicole, like this is like your thing because you like always had like, people just back up off me and I'll be okay. So like this was like my glory. I would like go out and like in the world and I take the kids to the beach, which I hated, right? Which I still not a fan of, but like, and I take them to like the preserve, anywhere where you think I wouldn't be, I was during during quarantine, out and about, because there was nobody there bothering me, nobody in my space. It's like, oh my God, this is like great. So yeah, so you need to make sure that you put up those boundaries, like energetically and, physically, know when it's time for you to walk away out of a situation.
I love what you were saying too about the 6 feet. I wish that I loved it for so long. I'm like, oh, this is great. I go to the store, no one's standing on my back. I don't have to keep moving to the left or moving to the right or moving forward. Well, and that drives me crazy in a line. I don't know how people can't use their intuition to be like, oh, this girl doesn't want, me
When they
on
get way
her
too close.
back. Like, I'll move up. Someone will move up like that. This happened to me the other day. I was in line, and I actually had to tell the lady, like, excuse me, like, can you just,
Back the fuck up
move
off
a
me.
little bit? Because I'm like, I tried so hard. I'm like, I move to the left. I'll move to the right of the line. Then I'll, pretend I'm looking at something on the rack, like trying to use my hands to say, like, get away, give me room. I hate when someone's right on me. And the lady was just right there. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, can you just back up a little bit? And then she, so surprised that I didn't want her standing right on my back, but I could literally feel her
Yeah.
breathing on my neck. I'm like, you're too close. Move away from me, please.
Yeah, it's fun. I also wanted to address, because they're showing me an image of, like, when you're about to leave the house and go somewhere, for an appointment, a doctor's appointment, any type of appointment, and you feel like you're going to run into somebody, right? When your intuition is hyped up and picked up on that, um, and you start feeling the other person's energy, definitely ground yourself before you go, right? And kind of just do anything that we had suggested, kind of clear and say, this is not my energy, because sometimes it could come across like you're just freaking out, and you're like, whoa, where is this coming from? And you feel anxious, but you feel excited, and you're like, you are definitely picking up on someone else. It's not you. And just, definitely make sure you clear that before you leave the house. Again, a huge fan of like oils, behind your neck, behind your ears, on your wrists, and like just one little dot on your third eye. Also helps, like maintain, your energy versus somebody else's. You have to learn how to clear energy away from you, like ASAP. I can't stress that enough. It's especially if you know where the energy is coming from and that it's not you and that it is somebody else. If you know exactly who that person is who's sending you energy, even better, because you could literally completely block them by saying their name and asking the angels to block, so and so from your energy field and keep them at bay.
I like to personally use the lightning bolt technique when somebody when somebody comes into my mind or like really gets into my head, like you said, that feeling of I'm going to see this person, and the energy is not yours. When you're like, this isn't my energy, this is not me, this is coming from somebody else. What I like to do is, and I'll always know, and I think your intuition will always know the person that is getting into your energy field. 9 out of 10 times they're a picture will pop into your head of that person. I like to picture them in my mind, and I like to do the lightning bolt. I literally make a lightning bolt like this straight down 3 times, and then I break my energy off from them, and then I'll, leave the house and do what I have to do. Same thing goes for if I'm having a conversation with somebody, and I'll leave the conversation and I still can feel that person thinking about the conversation, over analyzing the conversation in their head. I will then once again picture that person, and I'll do the lightning bolt 3 times, and I'll ask for their energy to leave my frequency. And that usually helps to cut off energy very, very quickly and very dramatically, kind of cutting all those cords away from me. I like that
I
one.
have, that is a good one, which also made me remember that I would picture somebody who, was very empowering, right? Had that power, and like that intense energy, and I would literally pretend that like gates would come flying down, and
Mm.
then doors would come, and like everything is just sealed, cemented, steel, whatever it is, like just very heavy, and then behind the door, that helps as well. Sending people pink light and love is also a huge thing, and I'm actually going to put that in the description. Um, for if you're having a problem with somebody, and I know we're like kind of just jumping like over to one subject or another, but if you're having like difficulties with somebody and you still feel their energy and like it's lingering and it's just not going away, send them pink light and love, because pink light and love comes back. Anything that you send out there in a negative aspect is going to come back and hit your ass, right? It's going to come
Hmm.
back and hit you. So if you're sending somebody, like bad karma and you don't mean to, it's just like, bad vibes, you're sending them bad vibes, it's going to come back to you tenfold, right? So my whole thing is always send good vibes. Always, 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 always send light and love, and I'm a huge fan of the pink light and love, which basically you're sending from the heart of you to the heart of, whoever you are, and you're mentioning the name. And you're just, you literally are sending them pink light and love. And you could say that as many times as you need to. I am a huge believer in that. I've been using that for years and it seems to work like to me amazingly. Doesn't work on everybody, but 9 out of 10 times it works. That's a huge thing, sending pink light and love to everybody. And you basically say your full name, the person's, full name, saying I'm sending, pink light and love from my heart to the heart of whatever, whatever, to diffuse the situation. So any, situation. And it's not to be friendly with them because that's not what you're doing. You're just diffusing the situation. So whatever the situation is, if it's meant to be diffused and you're meant to have a relationship with that person, friendship, family, whatever, whatever type of relationship, it will, like it will flip this script and everything will be nice and peaceful. If you're not meant to have a relationship with this person in any shape or form, it will just, push you guys away into your own little, personal world, and you don't have to deal with them again. Huge fan of Pink Light and Love. Trying to think the freezer technique, but I don't
Oh,
know.
that's what I wanted to talk about. So that you just reminded me because it popped into my head and then I'm listening to you talk and then I forgot about the freezer. I don't like the freezer. I don't think it's a good idea. People always say that they're like, take names, put them in the freezer. I'm putting you on ice. I always feel like eventually doing stuff like that is ends up being bad karma. I
Yeah,
personally,
because
I
you're doing it
personally
out of
do
a
because
bad place.
I feel like 9 out of 10 times, unless you're like, oh, this person just put them on ice, okay, that's fine. But 9 out of 10 times, if you're doing it from a bad place, if you're wishing evil on them, if you're wishing all these things on them, and then you take their name and you put it in a bag and you pour it over ice and you put it into the freezer, those type of things to me, they'll come back to you tenfold. They really will. I just feel like anytime you wish negative, and it doesn't even matter. This person could be the most negative person you've ever been around. Just always try to leave a situation with, like Nicole said, love and light. I don't know why this person is the way that they are, but something happened to them. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm taking myself out of the equation and I'm just going to say I wish you love and light and I'm going to move on from there. And that's it. I never believe in any of that other stuff because I do believe that it will come back to you. Karma always, what goes around comes around. Karma comes back around. Even if you're doing it to a very evil person, it doesn't mean that what you're doing is a good thing. You don't take darkness and hit it back with darkness. The only way to ever move forward with darkness is to give it light and then move on from the situation. So, yeah, I'm so happy you brought that up because that's what was spinning in my head and then I
I
lost
know,
it.
I heard it spinning in your head while you were talking the last time, and I was like, I'm not going to lead with that. I'm going to lead with the light and love, and then like maybe throw that back on her later. Yeah, but it's true. Like, light and love is what's going to get you through anything. It's that's what combats the darkness. Also, like when you're clearing your energy from somebody, and the light and love, I mean, like I overdo everything. Like Kristi used to make fun of me because like if I would find a meditation that was clearing, I would just and they say to do it once a week, I would be doing it like 4 times a day. And I'd be like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna keep knocking this out until like, it's all out of my system. Um, but there's also a way that you could write a letter to somebody. It could be anybody, right? Just write how you feel, right? How that person made you feel. They could be alive, they could be passed on. It doesn't matter. write everything that you want on this letter. If you need to write a second verse after you burn that one. But write everything down on the piece of paper, go outside, burn it. Obviously, safety first, but just light it on fire, burn it, and like let all the ashes go wherever. You could also just crumble it up and throw it away and never read it again. The whole point is to not look back on it and read it again. So that's why you either burn it or crumble it up and throw it out. Huge way of breaking energy bonds as well. And getting what you have to say off your chest without physically, like telling that person, how you feel. I must have done that. I did that a couple of times. You could also burn with that any pictures that you have of the person. And again, it could be in any type of situation. It could be a friendship, a relationship, family, acquaintance. Yeah, it could be anything. Like it's not limited to just, like one thing. Even a place. If like you're so, stuck on a place, like burn pictures of that, of you in that place and like let it go. Like, you got to let that go. I feel like
You
we
could
could have.
do, sorry.
No, go
You
ahead.
could do that too with other people's energy. I do that a lot when I'm picking up on other people's energy and I constantly am hearing them in my mind's eye, trying to tell me something. What I like to do is I like to write out what that person's telling me. So whatever's coming to my mind that I know is not in my energy field, I like to also, Nicole, write all that down and then do, like you said, either burn it, go outside and burn it into the universe, or just crumble it up and throw it away. And it does subside that feeling as well that comes from another person's energy, because energetically, when you write it out, they feel that feeling and then they say, I got my message across. And it could be positive messages, it could be negative messages. It could be it could be anything, and it can come from anybody. But once you write it down, it's a release. It's a release of energy. So then that feels like it was, taken away from you. And then you don't feel that person's energy as much anymore. That part will start to dissipate, because that does happen to me a lot with people's energy, especially a particular person. If they're trying to get a point over to me, I have got to write it out and I have to say, okay, I heard it, I felt it, I acknowledged it because I wrote it. But now it's time for you to let it go, and it's time for me to let it go. I can't keep walking through, my day to day feeling someone else's energy and what they perceive they want to tell me, but don't really have the guts to say it to my face.
Yeah, to say it in person. I think, yeah, that happens way more than the average person, I would say, hears things in their head. My whole rule is, and I try to really follow this, is do not argue with somebody who's not in the room with you. It happens, I know we've touched on this in one of our podcasts already,
Mm,
that you pick up on everybody's energetic level, right? When you're open and receiving. So there's the higher self, there's the lower self, and then there's the physical self. And you're picking up on all of these, all of these energies of this one person. I try to only deal with people's higher selves. Sometimes that's not the case, and the lower self tends to come in. The lower self is the one that's very nagging and like trying to tell you something and trying to apologize, but not in a nice way, and just basically things that are happening to them in the physical world, but they refuse to express to you in that physical world. So their self, that their lower self comes in. Um, that could be annoying. Because it's not so much positive, and you could hear if the person is sneaky, you're feeling that sneakish energy
mhm.
coming and trying to tell you things, and it's not telling you like bad things like go kill yourself. It's not saying that. It's just, like being, things that they would say in person but don't have the balls to say. Um, that's annoying. When it's somebody's higher self, it's always rewarding and complimentary. It's encouraging, supportive. Sometimes somebody's higher self could be with you, for days at a time and just like, you have work to do with them. So, they're there and they're pushing you, to do something really awesome. It's also they come in when that person is so horrible, let's give it that term, in the physical, that the higher self steps in and apologizes for them. It's a different apology coming from the higher self versus the lower self. You could tell the energy, the energy level, the energy difference. So always be aware of the energy that's coming in and what you're picking up on. There was something else that I wanted to say. I do actually have, look, a balsam and cedar candle. I just wanted to show everybody lit. Can you see that?
Can't really. Oh, there you go. I
While
see it.
while we're doing this, because that's I wanted to show that before and I totally forgot.
Deciphering from like the 3D self to the 5D self, the higher self, can, when that energy comes in and you're feeling that loving energy and that person sits with you and you haven't spoke to them in a while, you think, okay, now I can go ahead and reach out. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, now I can go
that's a
ahead and
false.
reach
Don't do
out.
that.
Yeah, don't do it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy that part, because when you reach out, you're not receiving, most likely not receiving that part.
No,
So
because
just
you
yeah,
again are going from the higher self. You're not,
right,
the physical 3D self is the low version, and that's who you would be reaching out to if you reached out in the
right.
physical world. That's not what you want. But yes, go ahead. You could continue.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to, that's really all I wanted to say, because that does happen where we are feeling their higher self and everything that they could be or should be in this lifetime, but we're receiving that information and then we're thinking that everything in their 3D life maybe has changed. So we want to go ahead and reach out, but my suggestion is, if they're not reaching out to you and you're feeling this energy anyway, then they're not ready. So there's no point in reaching out to them, because it could be, really bad. It could be good for a couple of days. It could be good for a couple of months. But then that negative energy is going to seep back in and you'll be right back to square one again. So if you're feeling that and you're always the one reaching out and trying to make contact, just let you know that their higher self does love and respect you. And when they are ready, that 3D self will come in and make that phone call and tell you everything that you wanted to hear. But don't chase it. Once again, going back to the conversation that comes up in every podcast, don't chase it. Let it come to you. If it's meant to be, it will it will show up at your doorstep. I promise you that. But don't just go chasing it because you felt a feeling and you think things changed.
I do have to weigh in on that as far as when you feel people calling out to you, you have to decipher then also. It's a different call. So if you feel somebody calling out to you, just because they obviously need your advice or they need to hear your voice or there's something going on in their life that they are like ashamed to tell you to talk about, but they really need to talk to tell someone, that's different. So you'll get kind of like this urge to check in on someone who may not be healthy and is not telling you, who does just need to hear your voice to pick them up or whatever. It's a I don't know how to decipher like how
You're
to tell
right.
people
Yeah.
how to decipher, but like, for instance, I was going through a really pretty shitty ass situation, right? And I, for some reason, was calling out to Christy, and Christy heard me for like how many, wow, a week, 2 weeks before you.
Yeah, it was about a week before I reached out. So now you got me thinking, because now I feel like I rebuttal everything that I
No,
said. But
it's not a rebuttal because
I was
it
looking at
was
it in a relationship, like,
right, right, and that's
yeah,
why I said, it's different. Like, like it. Right. Well, that's why I agree with you on that level. But I'm like, let me just throw in another side factor of, like not everything comes across. It does kind of come across the same way, and it can be like a little intense. But you could tell the difference. You can tell the difference. You just
yeah,
have to
I
learn how
could.
to tell the difference. I don't know how to explain how to tell the difference, but I mean, go ahead. You could use me as a total example of how you did hear me, and like eventually you did reach out. But like, what's the difference between that versus somebody who you're hearing their higher self, apologizing and supportive, or you're hearing the lower version saying, just reach out to me because I'm okay, and like I want to hear, like it's a different. I think the call for help is
it's a different vibration. I feel like the call for help, and it sticks with you. I feel longer, like the urge sticks with you longer. So, but like me and you at that time maybe had like a very small little kind of friction, and then we didn't talk for a while. But it wasn't to the point where I was like, oh, I'm never gonna, reach out to Nicole again. It was just one of those kind of like, okay, we need to, take some time, whatever. So I had like a different feeling, and you don't come up in my mind every day. So when all of a
I'm offended
sudden,
by that. No,
you know what I mean? Like on
no,
that
I know.
level, on that energetic level, you don't come into my mind every day where I feel this like urge, this tug to reach
Yeah.
out to you. So when you were coming into my mind for that whole week, every single day, I felt like I have to reach out to Nicole. But I felt the difference that it was really like you here in the 3D that was calling out to me, needing me. And I couldn't deny that. I couldn't walk away from that. So I guess if you can decipher energy, it's a little easier. If you can't decipher energy as much, then it could be confusing. So I'm trying to really figure out how I would describe the
Right.
difference.
So like here, right, from that's what you're getting on your aspect and me being in the physical, although I wanted to reach out because I was going through what I was going through, I wasn't, right? So that's a huge so that's like, one point of view to the other point of view, right? But I was calling on her because that's who I thought would be able to get me through the situation. Um so it's different when like you're the person right who's trying to call out just to get that person's attention right in a non-genuine authentic way and just getting them to reach out just so you could have the upper hand. That's a different type of feel, right? I mean, you would have felt that differently, but here I was just not even scared to reach out. Just I couldn't even describe or communicate what the fuck was going on with me, right? So I was just
Right.
calling on her, like, you know, the way that I knew, like telepathically, and hoping that like she would get it and she would reach out to me. And she did eventually, which was great. But it that does happen. Like that does happen in especially when you have that connection with somebody, right? So, I mean,
Right.
I have connections to people that I pick up on and I know they're thinking of me and I just don't reach out. If it comes to the point where it's like, antagonizing, I guess, the energy, I will eventually reach out and be like, just hope all is well, whatever this and that. They're not such a like, negative person in the 3D. It's just, sometimes they just need that reach out that to know that, if they are going through anything, like, you could walk them through it, you could help them, you could give them advice. And then again, you have, that, the person who's stuck in negative patterns of behavior trying to call you out because they know that that's how they can reach you, or sometimes they don't even realize that they're calling out to you because they're just in such a dark place, like trying to bring you down. And I think that's where people say, the energy attacks come from. And energy attacks, like I guess people like we kind of think of as black magic, which there is obviously a thing such as black magic. And again, those people will get it 10 times, tenfold back to them. But energetic attacks, sometimes you don't even realize that, you're doing it as a person, is when you're sending that person, negative bad thoughts, right? So if you're seeing somebody who's like glowing up, and your first reaction is not, oh my God, good for them. I'm so glad that they're, leveling up and their life is coming into play and they're in a good place. But your reaction is like negative, like I can't believe like, that's happening to them, blah, blah, blah. That's an energetic attack right there. There's
Mhm.
really nothing else to, like that. And again, you may not mean that, right? And that, that's not what you planned, but that is an energetic attack. That's where you have to block yourself from all, negative energies and entities and anything that, thoughts and anything that you think of that's negative and portray it onto somebody else is a negative attack. And like I said, you may not realize it, but that's how all the negative attacks are being sent. as well. And that's a real thing. That's definitely a
Yes.
real thing.
It's a very, very real thing. It's a very, very real thing. A lot of people don't even know that they're doing it. But going back to energy, while you were talking, I did kind of figure it out. I think you have to think about how you left the situation with people. So if you haven't talked to somebody in a while and you left the situation and maybe you weren't so great on your part either, and their energy is calling out to you, it's yes, then it's okay. You should reach out, check in on them, see how they're doing. Like Nicole says, if you're leaving a situation and you know in that situation that you have cleared that situation, that you did everything that you could have done in that situation, and that person's still tugging on your energy, then maybe you can decipher that, where that person was, where you left it, and if you should then go ahead and reach out or not.
Oh, your screen
I'm
froze.
frozen.
Oh, there you are.
I'm
Like
frozen.
I'm like, oh, your
So
screen.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, maybe in that sense. Think about the situation, think about how you left things, think about the way it was when you were friends with them or relationship with them, and then kind of go from there on what you should do. Your intuition will tell you, but if you're getting a push to reach out to that person that you couldn't have said more to, couldn't have done any more, and then you feel that tug to reach out to them, then that's when I'm like, okay, don't do it. Let them come to you, type of situation.
And you kind of really have to hold your power in that because it is
You
very,
do.
yeah, I know. I mean, and some people's energy won't stop, right? So it'll constantly be in your head, it'll be in your dreams, which your dream state is a whole other podcast. But podcast episode, I should say. But they will not stop. And sometimes it becomes so overwhelming that you just want to turn around and just say, like anything to them, just so if you feel like if you make contact in the physical world, like
It won't
it'll make it
stop.
better. It doesn't. It does not make it
It's
better. So just really try to hold that power, clear that energy, and eventually it'll fade away.
Or sometimes you get the person that's so energetically attached to you that it's them automatically. So then you're able to decipher the energy and kind of push it away. And
Yeah,
then you'll talk to somebody and be like, oh, I felt so and so's energy. I think that they want you to reach out to them. It's like someone else tells you. Now they're infiltrating other people's energy, trying to get you to reach out to them. That's always a fun one too. That happens a lot too.
I think that goes on a really deeper level here.
It does. I don't
Um,
want to get into all that, but
yeah,
it
it's
can.
funny because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and she keeps bringing up energetic, what is it called? It's called something else. So it's just like when you're attached to somebody, when somebody's energy attaches onto yours, which I thought was an interesting concept versus, when there's energetic cords, when you have your cords and stuff. And I know we're going into like a really um deep dive here. It's called something. I'm gonna actually look it up. It's called something that she dubbed it, and I said that's a great way because there are people that when you walk past during on the street or whatever sometimes, or you have this one conversation with, you're hooked onto them, right? So you could pick up on what they're saying, what they're thinking, what they're this, but you're for some reason not you can't let it go. It's not you, it's them, sticking onto your energy because they can feel how pure, how high your vibe is,
Right.
and they can't let go. So we're talking about that. I'm gonna actually look that up, the name of it, but like I found it to be like so because like it doesn't really come across that often that
It's
oh,
happened to me. It's happened to me before with strangers, that I'll
oh
walk past somebody and then I could just feel that person's energy like all over me for a while, whether it's negative or sometimes even positive. And you're able, and you like hold on to it, but it could be even them. Like I know sometimes if I'm walking past somebody and I could really feel their energy or feel what they're thinking, sometimes as a healer I'll hold on to that. and I'll feel that.
It's called quantum entanglement.
Oh, wow. That is
I know.
deep.
That's what I said when I read it the other day and then I started listening to it. I was like, oh, that's like a whole. I mean, like obviously we understand it, but like that's a whole other I don't know way to phrase it, I guess. And
Yeah. It kind of
that's what,
reminds me of like, remember that show back, what was it in the late 80s? Quantum Leap. Do you
oh
remember
my
that
God.
show?
Yes.
Right? It's kind of the same thing if you think about how he is leaped into other people's lives and situations. It's like quantum leaping almost.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's quantum entanglement. So, like even if you're in a twin flame or divine connection, well, actually divine counterparts are more pure, but a soulmate, any frictional relationship, like you would think, right? Like, oh, you have that bond, you have whatever. It could technically be, quantum entanglement. But from her perspective is it's more of a positive thing. It's not like on a negative aspect.
Right.
It's
It's not on
more
a negative level.
right. You're more, entangled with this person, which means that normally you have work to do in a different realm, like in the 5D. And that's why you walked, into this person and you've been like quantum entangled, with them for as long. I mean, like I could give you like three off the bat, like one that I am severely entangled with and I can't understand like for the life of me why it's not going away. But it's a positive aspect, right? So like the things that this person is triggering me is amazing. Right. And I can't pinpoint why, which annoys me because I'm one person who will go really deep to find out why and I can't get a reasoning. But there's always those triggers that'll take you like on a higher level. It's not triggering me on a bad level. So I want to say that all the quantum entanglements are more of an upgrading, right? It's like it's the energy that's pushing you to go higher, not like go higher but have to go within. Like it's kind of
Right.
not it's more of a light versus dark situation. And then, obviously you tend to pick up what they're thinking and they could do the same, although they may not understand that they could hear and feel your movements as well. Um, I think we kind of just got our holiday wish list of, protecting yourself
Now we got
out of the
everybody
way.
running to the store before their party. They're like, I need green candles. I need to I need to
Incense,
get
incense.
tourmaline. I need all these items now to protect my house. But seriously, you got time, order them, go get them, whatever you need to do. And just whatever you need to do to keep yourself protected this holiday season.
And we're going to try to hop on next Monday before Christmas. And then I think we're going to take Christmas week off, right?
Yeah, and then
And then
we're back
we'll be
in
back
January.
yeah, we'll be back in January. So if there is any topics, let us know and we'll address those in next week's episode. That's it. I think we're sorry for not being extremely upbeat today, but if you follow us, then you're probably energetically on the same level. I'm feeling wiped out and want to go hide under a blanket because that's where I'm at. Lovely, lovely. Dealing with energy is just lovely. And even like
It
for
really is.
somebody like me and Kristi who know how to deal with energy, right? And who know how to and for us to feel this down, we know that it's affecting all of you too. So yeah.
And don't play us back from last week when we're like, oh, full moon. Can't wait for everything to calm down. Maybe we just felt like the plummet. I don't know, but I am wiped out today also.
Yeah, the
So
universe is definitely making us out to be liars, but that's expected. That's the universe for you. They want you to experience everything so you can share everything. It's so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. So no one ever. So much fun.
well,
So much
thanks
fun.
for joining Nicole and Kristi on the raw uncovered truth of the awakened soul. And we'll catch back up with you next week.
All
Bye.
right, peace out, guys.